Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to radically shift your perspective. We're talking about making the leap from being an exhausted digital data entry clerk, endlessly typing away at a machine, to becoming a highly leveraged system architect. If you've been feeling like the AI revolution just handed you more tedious busy work, well, you are in exactly the right place.
There's a brilliant quote straight from our source material that just hits the nail on the head. Stop treating AI like a tool and start treating it like a workforce. It perfectly captures the massive 2026 paradigm shift. The initial hype has settled down, right? And if you want scalable, serious wealth, you've got to stop prompting and start orchestrating. We have to stop treating these systems like simple tools waiting for a command and start treating them like an intelligent workforce that's ready to be deployed.
Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, the prompting trap. Second, from user to architect. Third, meet your new workforce. Fourth, inside the agent pod. And finally, selling systems, not services.
All right, part one, the prompting trap, why manual labor doesn't scale.
So the fundamental flaw with just being a prompter is that it's completely linear. It's this exhausting one-to-one input and output loop where, well, you are the bottleneck. You're sweating right there in the middle of the chaos. Every single dollar you make requires your active, manual participation managing every single chatbot.
Think about the old way, the current way most people create content. You prompt for an outline, you read it, you hate a section, so you prompt for a revision, then you jump over to a totally different tool to research facts, copy-paste that research back into your draft, and then, the worst part, you spend an hour editing out that robotic AI slop tone. This constant back and forth might make you feel incredibly busy, but it definitely doesn't make you truly productive.
The source text actually puts this perfectly. It bluntly calls this manual method digging a ditch with a slightly better shovel. And it's true. As long as you are the literal bridge between an idea and its execution, your income is strictly capped by your physical time. You just can't take on 50 clients this way, because there are only so many hours in the day to sit there and type at a bot.
Section 2. From user to architect, changing the mental model. This whole shift happens the exact moment you stop asking, what do I need to tell the AI to do, and start asking, what system can I build to achieve this goal automatically? We are moving entirely away from manual, linear prompting, where you are the bottleneck, toward automated orchestration. This is where you create systemic, autonomous loops, where the agents actually communicate with each other.
To really grasp this, we need to define the mechanics of our new reality. An autonomous agent is absolutely not your standard chatbot. A chatbot just sits there, waits for your text, and answers a question. But an autonomous agent, it actively pursues a specific goal, it has an identity, specific instructions, and crucially, it can use tools like web browsers or databases, and it communicates with other agents completely without human intervention.
Section 3. Meet your new workforce. Assembling the pod.
Here's the thing. You don't just use one agent. You assemble them into what's called a pod. An agent pod is a small, self-contained team of autonomous agents dedicated to a very specific revenue-generating outcome. By building these pods, you completely transform yourself from a machine operator into the architect of a self-sustaining system. You're managing a digital workforce now.
Section 4. Inside the agent pod, the content creation blueprint.
Let's look at how an architect actually builds a content pod. You assign distinct, specialized roles to this digital workforce. Agent 1 is your skeptical researcher. Its goal is to scour the web, verify facts, and pull only contrarian viewpoints. Agent 2 is the drafter, taking that research and writing in your specific tone. And then there's Agent 3, the critic. This one is absolutely crucial. It doesn't write at all. Its sole job is to mercilessly attack the drafter's work based on your negative constraints. Basically, the strict rules you set about what the AI should never do, like using generic phrases or making unsourced claims.
Instead of you passing all this info back and forth, the pod forms an autonomous, cyclical loop. They collaborate. The drafter writes, the critic rejects it, the drafter revises. They might autonomously go through 5 complete cycles of refinement before the output ever even reaches your desk. You just set the high-level goal and the system executes.
Because of this autonomous looping, by the time this pod finishes its work, 95% of the heavy lifting is completely done. It hits your inbox, you spend maybe 15 minutes adding a personal story and that final human touch, and boom, you hit publish. This lets you increase your output tenfold while literally cutting your work hours in half. I mean, that is the definition of true leverage.
Section 5. Selling systems, not services. Bridging the complexity gap.
Once you really understand orchestration, you realize the real money is in solving the complexity gap for other people. Businesses are absolutely desperate for efficiency right now, but they are terrified of the complexity of managing autonomous agents. So, you bridge that gap for them. Sell the outcome, not the process. You definitely don't want to sell basic AI writing services. Instead, you build niche orchestrated pods and sell the final outcome as a subscription. Think about building an automated system that turns a company's boring white papers into a whole month's worth of engaging LinkedIn posts, or a pod that autonomously monitors a client's competitors and delivers a weekly pricing brief. You sell the result, not the sweat.
This is the ultimate punchline of this entire shift: leverage. In the old manual prompting world, your income and your effort are permanently locked together. But as an architect utilizing orchestration, as time passes, you completely decouple your required effort from your massive income potential. You build the system once, and it scales your wealth autonomously.
Making the transition from prompter to orchestrator might feel a little uncomfortable at first, mostly because it requires trusting the systems you build. But remember this: the market for basic manual prompting skills is racing straight to zero. Meanwhile, the ceiling for system architects has quite literally never been higher. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ponder today. What autonomous system will you build today to make your own typing obsolete?